Greetings everyone, this is Spartan275 and this is the week 1 battle against the Clearfield Charmander. This is post commentary, so let's get down to it. So the first thing I went ahead and did is sent out my main lead, which was Shuckle, and what I wasn't expecting was a lead of Garchomp. So I initially thought maybe this would be a defensive Garchomp with Stealth Rocks. Little did I know, it was actually a choice I used. Now, based off the damage that had been taken, it was most likely choice ban. So I went ahead and threw out Stealth Rocks because I knew for sure I was going to survive the second hit. So after the second hit, it was more of a crit, but I still survived, roughly around the same damage. So I went ahead and threw down Sticky Webs, and thus after that I was pretty much ready to go. Shuckle did its main job, and I didn't have much of a switch in. So after that, I went ahead and decided to send out Latios to take it out. Safe than sorry. And drop the Draco Meteor on it to be able to knock it out. Now, I was expecting him to send out maybe a Mon that had Defog after this. Mostly so it'll be easier for him to bring most of his Mons in. Especially his flying type mons that he had, which were Talonflame and Swallow. And one of the mons that he did bring out was Kartana, which also can learn Defog. But I expected it also to have Choice Scarlet, so there was that. So I went ahead and switched this out into Incineroar to throw down the Intimidate because I expected him to use Smart Strike. But little did I know, that wasn't the case. He actually went ahead and did a Sacred Sword, which nearly dropped my down all the way to a quarter of a health, but it didn't activate my berry that I had. So I went ahead and threw a Fake Out just for chip damage. Little did I know, it went ahead and crit. So I went ahead and switched back out into Latios in order to absorb the Sacred Sword damage, because it didn't have, like I said, it didn't have much of a switch. So I was gonna go ahead and attack. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I threw a Draco Meteor, and he sent out his Walrein. And based off the damage that I did to it, it was more of a special defensive wall. And I was surprised that it took it. It has decent bulk in both HP and both defensive stats. So I was actually pretty surprised in its fight. Plus it had leftovers. So I went ahead and switched out because I was sure that it wasn't going to knock it out. So I switched into Muck because based off leftovers I expected him to use Toxic. And which he did. And it was a nice safe switch in. Now for this one I went ahead and did use Pursuit just in case he switched out. But surprisingly enough he used Protect. Now with Protect, it gave me a good opportunity to either use Pursuit again or went ahead and use Knockoff. Because I know for sure any attack that he would have done with Walrein would not knock it out. And even if he switched in any other Mon, it'll take some raw damage with Knockoff. So surprisingly enough, it survived. And I was skeptical for what to do next. So for this, I went ahead and switched out because I wanted to preserve the HP of Muck and also didn't want to keep it in after knocking out Walrein in order for him to switch into Dugtrio. So after this I Mega Evolved Audino to Mega Audino, able to tank the next attack, but before that I went ahead and used Protect just in case we use Toxic. And surprisingly enough, he actually did. So for this one, I ran the calcs for this. I was expecting it to take it out with using Flamethrower instead of Dazzling Gleam. It did not. It lived like nearly like 1 or 2 health, and I was kind of disappointed. Thus, that was one of my biggest mistakes I did in this game. So, but it wasn't the end of the world. I was still going to be able to take it out even though it was gonna use like protect and whatnot. So I went ahead and I wished, because I know for sure that he was gonna probably do that. So after that, I went ahead and attacked at this turn. Went ahead and used the flamethrower just in case, and thus taking out a wall ring, which surprisingly enough, I was actually happy that Mega Audino did something in this game. I didn't want to be like a sack or anything. I wanted to do at least something, especially against Cortana. And surprisingly enough, he switched into Swallow. I didn't have much of a switch in except for one mon, but I wanted to save it for later. So I went ahead and let Mega Audino to take the damage, because Mega Audino did most of its job, and I was certain that I had other mons to use against the Cortana. So I went ahead and let it faint after this turn. So after this, I went ahead and pretty much switched into Incineroar, so I can use Fake Out to chip away some damage onto it, because I knew for sure it was going to most likely kill, because of it near max attacks stat adamant nature. And this is where it was summoned out a Dugtrio. Now Dugtrio was mainly a problem because I didn't have much of a switch in, along with the Arena Trap. So I went ahead and let Incineroar go down by an Earthquake by Dugtrio, which isn't the end of the world because I actually had other switches to use. So after this, I went ahead and switched into my Savali. Now I'm pretty sure I was pretty fast enough, and I went and used Ice Beam. Little that I wasn't expecting was he switched out, which expected he was mostly it was probably Choice Band, which he was good enough to switch because I used Ice Beam, and even though I wasn't gonna kill Talonflame, I was able to do enough damage for Flare Blitz. Surprisingly enough, he used Flare Blitz other than any other move and go down, and I was going to use Thunderbolt. So here comes Dugtrio once again, and it was most likely going to use Earthquake just to take it out and whatnot. And yep, but surprisingly enough, he didn't. He actually switched out into Cortana. So I went ahead and just used Parting Shot, because I didn't know what to do after that. I wasn't expecting it. So after this, I switched into Alolan Muck for it to take it out, because I knew for sure it's going to survive a Smart Strike at least without dying. And then I'll land a Fire Punch. And so after that, that was pretty much near the end of the game, because after it was going to knock out Muck with Dugtrio, I just stunned in the Latios to knock it out with Psychic. And that is pretty much the end of the game. Other than like the Audino mistake that I did relatively good. Really made it off in a good start. A nice, not the cleanest win, but a decent win nonetheless. So it's a good way of learning what I need to do in the upcoming future of battles, of how I should prepare myself. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this battle, and stay tuned for next week. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.